relating to your Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb will get
talking about my boys.
Will
again.
get number 80. This was pretty big news in my opinion. He's going to wear number 88. Jerry Jones is the one that told him to do it.
I love it. I love it.
Des Bryant, Michael Irvin, and Drew Pearson all wore 88.
Yeah.
And so Jerry Jones is the one that said, go ahead and let him wear 88, which I think is very interesting. I mean, Irvin is a huge personality, and, is he going to be happy about that?
Who cares?
Right.
I mean, I'm so tired of hearing his, because he just tangents on shit, like it's all emotion driven. Like I know that now somebody else is doing his research for him and just feeding him the lines, but there was a time where he just flew off the handle anytime he had his own opinion. So
I think he had a drug problem too.
You think?
I think he had a pretty big drug problem, but I thought that was, pretty interesting. And the Winston thing was interesting when I compared him to Drew Brees. They have the same numbers. Listen, for going back to Winston for a second, I mean, I know it's only a short-term deal for him, but this is Drew Brees and Sean Payton's last year under contract. Winston could be in an incredible situation if Sean Payton signs another 5 years, Drew Brees retires, and then Winston instantly inherits a Super Bowl team, or at least in the top 5 teams that could go to the Super Bowl.
I agree, but I don't think he would lead them there. I don't care how good the team is around you. If you're throwing 30 interceptions in any season, it's going to be real tough to get to the Super Bowl.
So he had eye surgery, like he did.
Is that his excuse?
I guess so,
but
I know he had eye surgery, like coming off of that. He still threw for 400 yards a game.
Oh, he had some monster games.
I mean,
right.
like he did throw for he averaged, his yardage per game was huge. If fantasy-wise numbers, he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd pick him up next year.
Well, I'd pick him up next year. Playing behind Breeze, he's probably never see the field.
Let's go to the New England Patriots for a minute. And somebody made a comment that they're going to stick with Stidham. And now that you have Aaron Rodgers sitting out there who's pissed off because of the Jordan Love deal, and Andy Dalton is free, do you think either Andy Dalton or Aaron Rodgers fits in better if they decide to go get a veteran?
Without a doubt.
Which
Stidham's
one?
An unproven rookie. I know he's in his second year there now, but
they like that guy.
Maybe they're seeing something I don't see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
he's unproven. So to grab one of those guys and to let them battle it out in preseason, training camp, and then go into preseason and let them actually battle for that position, that would be interesting to see. Do I think any one of those guys is an immediate threat? No, I don't think that. And I say not a threat because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going there. Regardless, I think that they're going to make the deal in Green Bay to keep him and to coach up the
Jordan Love.
That's the position, and that's that team atmosphere there anyway.
Yep.
He sat behind Favre for how many years? 3 seasons?
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's perfect time to let Jordan.
Favre was the one
and
Favre came out this week and said that he won't finish up there. And that was huge news 2 days ago. Favre said that Aaron Rodgers will not finish up in Green Bay.
No, there's no chance because they'll get rid of him when they know that he's washed up and he'll want to continue playing football at a high level. So he'll go to a team. He's going to be very similar to Tom Brady. He's going to end up going to another team that's in need and they've built a team around him and ready to do something. He'll go there and try and make one last stand. And
barring injuries.
Well, dude, this is something that.
He's not real injury prone though. That guy plays through a lot. People don't give him enough credit for being a durable quarterback.
He's not as durable as you think. He's broke his collarbone twice, I think now. Isn't that right?
Well, I mean, that's not – look, I mean, I guess your collarbone can only be so strong. But, I mean, he's probably played 80 to 85% of his games.
Oh, I agree. No,
I mean,
I can't argue that. But talking about that same factor, Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay has 2 options. Win and do it well and save face. Even come subpar, everybody will just demolish him and talk about how Bill did everything and he was just a product of Bill Belichick.
He's got to have, 12 wins?
Not even 12 wins.
11, 12?
10 wins would be a good season for him. You know, he's new on that team. It would secure him
Playoffs
playing next season. It would secure him playing
At
next season.
43, he's got to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You would think that Tom Brady has got to make the playoffs.
With that team, I don't think they
Yeah.
I know you dislike them. I think the team is going to do well.
I love Tom Brady. I just think when you get too many chickens in the hen house, whatever you want to say, like, I mean, there's always problems. There's always issues.
But like I said, we've made the same argument multiple times now. The guys on that team aren't divas. I mean, you name Gronk, and you could say
Gronk
he's a
is
diva. He has his own atmosphere everywhere he goes.
The epitome of a diva. I will not catch a pass from another quarterback, so I'm going to retire.
Except
That's
when
a
he's in
diva.
the room with Tom Brady. Then he knows he's second fiddle. He's never trying to overshadow Tom Brady. He always shows the respect to Tom Brady. So I don't see that being a problem at all. And then the rest of the guys on that team, Mike Evans has been known for being a good guy. You know, O.J. Howard's probably loving to play with these two amazing players. You know, like they have.
O.J. Howard. I mean, look, you got Cameron Brate too. In my opinion, O.J. Howard will be out of there because if they're going to pick one of the two, I'm taking Brate over O.J. Howard.
For shit.
You got to have two tight ends, right? So you got Gronk regardless, but you can't have three. So you're going to trade Brate?
Well, you actually could. And it's not that far-fetched to have three of them playing, you know, because you could run a two tight end set almost every play and still have a fresh guy on the sideline. That means you could cut a lot of dog shit off.
Generally speaking, you don't keep three tight ends. Not that talented. Like, generally speaking.
Generally speaking.
You could be right. I mean, I don't know. It's all up to.
I'm always right, Jeff.
Oh shit!
It's a fact.
We're gonna. Thank you, Johnny. Not always right. Other NFL news, there wasn't a whole lot going on. The locally wise, the Texans, the ex-Texan Jonathan Joseph. Again, we lose somebody. A defensive back. Not a lot of people respected Jonathan Joseph that much, but we lose him to a team in the same division. He signed with the Tennessee Titans.
That's great. He can watch us roll over them this season.
Well, I'm sure they're going to go after him. Like we play him twice.
Our problem is we keep bringing in these old deadbeats, and maybe I shouldn't have said old deadbeats, but we have been notorious for bringing in some older guys that we think are going to bring value to the team, where they're going to be a help in the locker room, but they end up being Ed Reed.
How many games did Ed Reed play?
I don't know if he played a single
did he
game.
play like? And then I remember him walking in the stadium. Everybody's all excited, whatever, and I just don't remember him doing anything spectacular for the
Absolutely
Texans.
nothing. You know, he's past his prime. You know.
So NFL news. I mean, that's about it. The season, as far as I know, the season is going on as scheduled because there's been a lot of changes as far as people that are getting out now. Like, look, here in Houston, tomorrow, or even at tonight, the curfew is, or not curfew, but the stay-at-home is lifted.
Yeah.
You know, so that's huge news for here in Texas. The governor lifted the stay-at-home order and opened up restaurants, all kinds of, the parks are back open, the beaches are back open. So that's big news.
Another little shout-out. Platinum Auto Spa, 1410.
Car wash.
Derry Ashford Car Wash. Mention my name, 25% off. All you have to do is mention my name, walk in, any service on the board, mention my name, 25% off, details, car washes. You need it, we got it.
Had to throw that in there. No big deal.
We're open.
A lot of people are talking about the Michael Jordan, whatever you want to call it, the 10-part series that Michael Jordan has put out. And
So I still haven't watched it. I've not boycotted it. I want to wait till it's all done. I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait till the entire series is out and listen to everybody else's comments. Then I'm going to watch it.
There's certain people that have that same mindset. They're like, I'm going to wait till, because of Netflix, you wait till the whole thing is out because you hate waiting a week. Today is Isaiah Thomas's birthday. So in light of that, I'll go into Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. There's so much stuff that goes on between them two, all right? And I found out some interesting tidbits we'll get into in a second. But the main thing is that Isaiah Thomas basically hates Michael Jordan. And the thought process is that Michael Jordan hates Isaiah Thomas, all right? And that he kept him out of the Olympics on that dream team in 94.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's apparently not the case, and we'll get into that later. But The Bulls, if you watch this show,
Why wait?
well, because it has to do with Magic Johnson, whatever. But I'm getting into the Bulls and Pistons right now. If you watch these games and they did highlights, dude, it's a wrestling match.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is unreal. They were literally punching each other in the face when they came in the lane.
I made the comment a couple of shows ago. LeBron James couldn't play in this league now. Play back then for 5. He'd just be another big athletic guy that bitched and moaned all the time because he was getting pushed around, and it's a different game altogether.
The highlights of LeBron James getting like maybe tapped on the head and falling over, like the worst one is when he gets carried off the court by his teammates, carried off the court with both of his legs, and they're carrying him, and then he comes back in the game.
This is how I see LeBron, and I still think LeBron's a great player, but I'd like to put him in the Pacers Pistons game where Ron Artest and Steven Jackson try and beat up everybody. LeBron's the first guy to run off the court. Like, security, help these guys. Guys, there's a fight over here. What are y'all doing? And his teammates are like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I love LeBron's got talent. There's no denying that.
Beast, no doubt.
I just think, I mean, he was big. He's powerful. He never had a jump shot. It was dunking, just driving the lane, overpowering people. His jump shot is not, he hasn't. Remember when Jordan came back into the league, he created, he knew that he couldn't go to the lane anymore like he used to. He didn't have that flying through the air ability. So he created that fadeaway. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it made him that much greater. He
always had that fadeaway though. You'll see it, and they talk about it a lot in the games way before he retired and came back. He always had that, but he also had that snap where he could just light you up at any point, just fly right past you.
LeBron's done nothing like that. It's still power game.
Yeah.
Just power. I'm going to roll through you. I'm a guard, but I'm 6'7", 250 pounds, and I'm a shooting guard. Yeah. I mean, you can't stop that. There's no such thing as that anymore.
Well, Zion is the
next level.
Yeah, he's the hybrid, and he's not even a hybrid. He's the next level of LeBron. And he's bigger, he's stronger. I think he may be even faster, but that just shows.
They had to teach Zion how to land. You know this?
Before he breaks another ankle or
because I mean, you got to imagine they want him to play for their, for the New Orleans Pelicans he is their franchise. So they literally brought in coaches to teach him how to dunk and land softer because he jumps so high, and for a guy of that size, just a matter of time. Save your knees, save your ankles and everything. So they literally brought in doctors and people to watch him dunk and teach him how to land softer so he can last longer, which is smart, honestly. I don't know how LeBron hasn't. I mean, he acts like he's hurt all the time, but I
don't know how him breaking a shoe was like the first time that we heard about it.
Oh yeah, he tore that shoe up. Yeah. That's right.
Can you imagine how many of those shoes just get torn up on a daily basis by these guys? I mean, it's got to be a one-game kind of shoe.
Yeah, you never heard about that until
he.
Well, there's Jordan came out and said that his Air Jordan 1s, he was bleeding in his shoes at halftime.
Oh, wow.
Because they were so uncomfortable, and so, I mean, they weren't made right. So they were bleeding. He was bleeding, and he was like, I was having such a good game, I just kept playing. So he just played through it. I mean, just another one of those, Jordan stories. But, again, Isaiah, the hate is real, and the consensus was that Michael Jordan kept Isaiah Thomas off of the Dream Team in 1994. Well, it's come out now that Magic Johnson was the one that kept him off the Dream Team because of his sexual preferences.
Okay.
Now that is awkward.
So he's a fella. Is that what we're saying? That Isaiah's a fella?
It's so awkward that Magic would come out and say this, considering of what happened to Magic Johnson. So this is all stuff that came out in the last 12, 18 hours, and I'm like, wow. So Jordan never was the one that kept Isaiah off. It was Magic Johnson that kept him off. Because out of all those players, look, Christian Laettner, because they had one college player on that team, got on.
Yeah.
Why didn't Isaiah Thomas? He was one of the greats.
Well, that's completely different. Like, Isaiah is a small guy. And he's not small next to me, but he's small compared to the NBA, sure. And like what he was putting on the court, in which you could put the exact same position with Michael Jordan, why would you bring Isaiah over Michael Jordan? There's no comparison.
Well,
there.
it wasn't that. They were saying that they just left him off. Like, they had meetings with the coach, and they just didn't want him on. Like, it was a consensus that they didn't want Isaiah Thomas on the team.
Maybe his
Like,
attitude. Maybe they didn't want to
apparently it was his sexual preferences.
Yeah, I don't know if Magic had that much stroke unless he was pushing it all on everybody. A stroke.
I mean,
He
Magic,
didn't have that
Bird,
much stroke.
Jordan. I mean, that team was obviously the dream team for a reason.
Sure.
But I digress. And speaking of the MJ stuff, Dennis Rodman. There was a lot about Rodman that came out. I mean, obviously we know the guy's a character. We saw him a few times here in Houston. He came out all the time when he was here. All the time. He came to all the bars and clubs and stuff like that.
What is your thought of him though? Tell me your real thought of him.
I love Dennis Rodman. Listen, he had 0 points a game, but like 17 rebounds. I mean, look, he knew what his purpose was. He was to defend and grab rebounds, and that was it. Like, he was not shooting the ball. And even if he got it, if there was nobody around him and it was a layup, he just passed the ball out. That wasn't his game. He knew what he was there for.
I love him. Like I was looking for an argument. Is what I was looking for. I was looking for you to say something that I could argue about. But I love him.
I love Dennis Rodman.
I like the bravado that he carries. And he's such a.
So you haven't watched it yet? He comes out. Him and Carmen Electra had sex on the court, on the Bulls practice court, and at half court.
Oh, I love it.
And he was like, it was just like a party.
Rodman, you're not doing shit. Come on the show with us. I know you're not doing shit.
Yeah,
You're probably drinking and smoking right now. Come on the show with us, man.
If anybody knows Rodman's number, which I know a couple of you girls out there do. So you're waiting until obviously the basketball stuff, the Jordan files finish up, so you want to watch it all at one time. So obviously you're going to have to keep updated. We want to welcome the veterans here to the show, man. The guys are just pulling up.
Absolutely.
Told y'all about this earlier. Welcome. We were going to talk about. Have y'all watched the Jordan thing?
I have. I've watched the first 4 episodes. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we were just getting on the Rodman thing about how he comes out of the guy's an absolute character. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Go ahead. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Mike Kurth.
Mike Kurth.
Brock Conrad.
Both veterans. Mike, how long did you serve? What'd you do?
I was in the Army, 3rd Ranger Battalion from 1990 to 96.
Excellent.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
I was in from 1992 to 2000. I was a helicopter mechanic.
Oh, no.
Somebody's got to keep them flying, huh?
Yeah.
Sure do. Somebody got to keep them up in the air.
Helicopter mechanic. Very nice.
Worked on the Apache.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then let's just knock this out real fast because I know we have a lot of topics to go over. Tell me a little bit about y'all's company. Just give me a little bit about it.
Well, I've got some Three Rangers rye whiskey that I wanted to give to you guys. We came up with this about 2014.
Thank you.
And it came about through John Collette. He's a Ranger buddy of mine. We served together over in Mogadishu back in '93. And he had a Three Rangers Foundation. And they were trying to figure out a way to raise more money for it. So he decided to start distilling whiskey. And he started doing it up in Chicago. And so basically all the proceeds from Three Rangers whiskey go to help the Three Rangers Foundation, which helps not just Army veterans, but each branch, every branch, in transitioning back into civilian life, either through finding them housing, job training, helping them find loans so they can go back to school and continue educating, or just numerous different ways, because the VA does do a lot, but then there's all these other smaller organizations that are out there.
Sure, we just
filling
put it
the
up.
gap.
We just put it up right here on the site for you guys. So 3rangers.com. Facebook is 3 Rangers. Instagram is @3Rangers, and then the donations are www.3rangers.com.
Yeah, 3rangersfoundation.com.
Yes,
There's
gotcha.
a PayPal link on there. You can contribute.
And we're going to
to.
keep putting that up throughout the show, and hopefully we'll get some donations for you guys coming in, and hopefully we can help out as much as we can.
Yeah, it's earned benefits. It's not a handout. You've earned the right to be able to go
Definitely.
take care of yourself and get some help. And Brock does the same thing with his barbershop. He gives back to the community. He helps the first responders out by donating haircuts or donating proceeds to fallen officers' families or whatnot.
Yeah, Brock, what's your hairstyle? What do you got going on?
And I founded Valor Barbershop last year. I've been a hairdresser and a barber for several years. Came up with this idea last year that I just wanted a shop where veterans, anybody can come in, but I want you to feel like you're American. You walk into my shop, the first thing you see is, Old Glory sitting on the wall, and you look above my chairs and it says "We the People."
Excellent.
And I just kind of wanted a shop to where veterans could come in and feel at home. If we
Appreciate it.
if they want to
Yeah.
come in, if they want to come in and talk about how crappy the food was or buddies that they've lost, I'm here to help them and here to talk to them, and it's done some good. I cut hair when Deputy Dollywall was murdered. I cut hair for a day and ended up raising $1,000 for him. And
Wow, nice.
some other Brewster, when he got shot, we raised some money for him as well, and give back to the boys in blue and the firefighters out there, and just want to show them that how much they appreciate, and they have a place to come down and unwind if they get off shift, and it's done a lot of good.
That's fantastic. Tell us
Yeah.
where Valor is.
We're at 22 West 34th Street, Suite E, right outside the Heights, and it's in the Oak Forest subdivision.
So if you're a veteran of any sort of service, you get a discount.
Yeah, you get a discount. Veteran, you get a veteran, active duty, military,
First responders.
wives, first responders, nurses, teachers, anybody in that realm.
That's great.
we
My
give
first
back
show
to
on here was right when things really got heated up with COVID, and we got into a little not an argument, but a good conversation, and we were talking about contracts, and I kind of threw some of the big guys under the bus just about the money, but I made a comment that if this was a video game, I'm not trying to put myself in God's shoes. I'm just saying, though, if I was God and I was making a world and I was handing out paychecks, the first paychecks I will be handing out would be our first responders, our teachers, our nurses, our doctors. Mm-hmm. Our biggest contracts wouldn't go to ball players because I'm an athlete and I've been an athlete, a professional athlete. I would have played the sport for absolutely free just for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. LeBron James doesn't need $1 billion, but I think that he's worth, $10, $20 million, live a great life and play a good sport. But that other $985 million, I think, would go really well spent if we gave that to our teachers, if we gave that to our nurses, if we gave that to our first responders. Those are the guys. And I'll make another comment. The nurses that are taking in COVID patients right now, or for you guys that have been in wartime, the nurses that are running out there on a battlefield to pick up a soldier, while there's bullets blasting by their head. Yeah, I think they deserve $1 million contract. I think they deserve that kind of money,
Going home
Nice.
going home to their families and having to live separate and looking through windows, and these doctors that are fighting it and looking at their children to know they can't touch them.
That's a different world.
I'm so glad
crazy.
you guys are here. When I heard that you guys were coming on the show, I was so excited. I have the utmost admiration for you guys.
Hey, man, I
And that's why I
appreciate
wanted to bring them, because it's all about the foundation giving back and helping those who sacrificed.
Definitely.
And giving back
what
to
a
the
great
first responder,
cause.
what Valor does. It's
There's
just he's not doing it to be rich. He's
And
doing
you're
it
doing
to give
that.
back.
And there's plenty of people that do exactly what you do, that give back, that don't get the notoriety or don't get,
There's a lot,
it's more about you just sitting in that barbershop shooting the shit with your old buddies or some other people that
Yeah.
have been through some situations that just like, that you have been through.
Yeah,
And,
I've been, if you guys got a minute, I can kind of tell you. This was kind of hard for me to talk about, but
It's a good
I had a guy
story,
come
though,
in.
yeah.
I suffer from PTSD, and I've
Sure.
just started this brand new thing. It's called EDMR, and it kind of separates everything. I have a hard time sleeping, anger issues, things like that. And it's funny how you get placed in a certain time in a certain place. And I had this young Marine came in, served a few tours over in the box, and he came back, and he's first time in. He came in and he talks to me. He's got a little long beard and a lot of hair, and he goes, "Man, got this function next week. I need to get cut up for her. Mom, she's tired of this beard. I want to look pretty for her." Like, all right. And he kind of talked to him. He's kind of in a pretty good mood. And we were going through our little conversation, and he didn't really ask, but I just kind of threw it out there. You can tell, Mike,
Yeah.
you see a veteran, kind of
Sure.
what's going on. I kind of talked to him, where'd you serve? He said, I was a Marine, and we talked a little bit. I said, man, I just did this EDMR thing, and I started talking about it, and I was fired up. It was the day before I did it. It was the first night I slept, and I slept pretty good. And I was pretty fired up. I was excited. I was talking to him. Nothing of it. Cut his hair, made him feel real nice. He left. About 3 weeks later, he came back in. About 4 weeks later, he came back in and he goes, "Hey," I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's kind of had this little somber face. He goes, "I want to thank you." And I go, "What you mean, man?" I said, I appreciate it, man. You coming in here, I appreciate the cut." And he goes, "No." He says, "It was a lot deeper than that, man." I said, "I don't know what brought me in here, but that event I had to go to was my funeral." I go, "What you mean, man?"
What?
He goes, "I had it. I woke up that morning and I decided I was going to get cleaned up. I said I had my 45 in my car, and I said I was going to go on the other side of the building. I was going to blow my head."
Oh no.
And sorry, I get a little,
No,
I get pretty
you're
choked
fine,
up about it.
dude.
Every
Wow.
day, when every day I get up, that's why I do what I do. There's guys out there that the first thing when we started talking about the COVID lockdown was these guys' mental health.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it is. I mean, this is a difficult time for people that have to stay at home, can't get out, you can't go around, other people and stuff like that.
You're kind of sheltered. So I've been, I make sure that I reach out to these guys and
Well, man,
text
I
them, "Hey, dude, how
appreciate
you
that,
doing,
man.
man? Just keep it up. You need something, you're doing it." Because I do it. I tell everybody I do it for selfish reasons because it really helps me.
Sure.
I'm not here
It's
to
like
be a
one of
hero.
the greatest ways to put that. Like, for real.
I do it for selfish reasons, man. It's all about me. It does me good. I like to see the guys, but it's
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That's a great
Bravo.
story. I heard that. and I
Bravo,
was like, man.
absolutely.
And
Incredible
it's just by
story.
Brock being Brock and doing
Their
that.
foundation set up. Again, this is, right here, Three Rangers Whiskey. They brought us a bottle, and, all these proceeds go to the veterans, and stories just like he just told us happen constantly around the United States and around the world, basically, with these veterans that are, trying to help other veterans out. So that's exactly what they stand for, and that's what they're about. And again, man, we appreciate you guys coming on the show.
hey, man, I appreciate you
Yeah,
having us.
yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
get to share that. I mean, dude, that's an amazing story. And look, what you opened up a shop, I mean, however long ago, and just that one story and that one life that you helped out is worth the entire thing.
It's worth
Yeah.
all of it. It's the reason when they shut me down and I was I kept pushing forward. Guys have helped out, and I could have easily gave up and said, I'll find something else to do. They're going to shut me down for a couple months, and that's why I do what I do. And
I promise you that won't happen. We won't let you shut down.
Exactly.
We'll have you on here every week. We'll have you on here every
We'll have
week.
a line wrapped around that building, I promise you. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Giving to a good guy, a good company.
Neither one of y'all play high school sports, college sports.
High school sports I did.
You played some high school ball?
Yeah.
Play basketball.
Basketball.
Mike,
I
we
swam, I
talked-
dove. Actually, you went to Memorial, right?
Yes, sir.
I went to Springwood, so.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they had CDC, I think.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was Spring Branch.
Oh, that was Spring Branch?
Yeah.
Okay. We talked off air yesterday, but before the show, getting ready for stuff about the Army-Navy game and the
Yes.
tickets, about how to get tickets to this game, which is...
It's quite the process to try and, I mean, if you go through Ticketmaster, I was looking at ticket prices last year, and a regular Army-Navy game is like $45-$50, and then you look at the Army-Navy game, and it's like $700, $800, $1,200 a ticket, and it's just crazy. But I did some research, and you can actually donate to the Army Athletic Club, and depending on how much you donate, you get on a list to go ahead and buy the pre-sale at face value. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. I don't know if they're going to have fans in the stadium for this game or not, or if he even goes off. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm still going to donate to the Army Club anyway because they could use the funds anyhow.
Sure. Yeah, of course. But I was looking up some details. So the first game was in 1890.
Oh, wow.
1890, and there's been 119 meetings, obviously, since then. I think it's the oldest rivalry. 10 U.S. presidents have been to these games, which is that's unheard of. Like 10 U.S. presidents have attended these games. I didn't see the record, but I remember either last year or the year before they were tied. There was a streak that went on. I think Navy beat Army like 14
Navy
years.
went on like a 13.
Yeah,
year
13
streak.
or 14 year in a row that they
It was
won.
brutal. That
Yeah,
was-
and then
yeah.
y'all came back, and the most interesting thing about this whole ordeal is that last year, all the branches lifted the I don't know what you call it, but they lifted where you don't have to serve right after college. If you get drafted by any professional sport now from your college, you can go, whether it be West Point, Air Force Academy, or whatever. You can now go straight to the pros and make your money, and you don't have to go serve your 4 or 5, 6 years in that branch, which is That's amazing. That now these kids can actually go to Army and Navy and pump their teams up and pump money into the colleges for them, for more people to get other, education and stuff like that. That now you can attend West Point and you can attend Army, you can attend Navy, and you can do that and have your professional career in sports, which is absolutely amazing.
I got a shout out
yeah.
while we're talking about it. Just straight to the dome, and rest in peace, Pat Tillman.
Oh yeah,
Still such a strong story, star in the NFL, leaves after 9/11
for Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Enlists in the Army and goes over there to serve for his country. What a hats off, and rest in
Second
peace.
Ranger Battalion.
Okay.
Second Ranger Battalion. And he was, that is the, if you look at people that went and served, as far as the connection between military and sports, he's the quintessential person. You know?
There's a few.
There's been a bunch, but
Yeah.
he's the one that's
he gets
the
a lot
person
of
that people
notoriety.
usually
Yeah.
think about if that happens,
Yeah, Roger Staubach. I think about Roger.
Yeah,
Staubach.
Roger
Yeah.
Staubach was in for a while. There's a lot of coaches that were in a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of owners that have been in the
Coach K
service.
was at. No, he coached for Army under Bobby.
No, he
Knight.
coached.
Yeah.
Yes. And I
Bobby
think
Knight.
I want.
I want to throw a chair just for fun.
I
tear some
love
shit
Bobby
up
Knight.
there.
I am too. But if I had a son, would I want him to go play for him? Only if he could
Love
hack it.
Bobby
Yeah.
Knight.
If he could hack it, go play for Bobby Knight. If
Yeah.
not, go play for Coach K. So
Yeah.
Both of them are amazing, and the Army Navy game is one of we talked off air. Man, there's a lot. I would love to go Michigan, Ohio State. If I go to one
UNC
game
Duke.
though, I would want to go. Yeah, UNC Duke in Charlotte, or
either one of those.
Yeah, either one.
I grew up in High Point until I was about 12, so I'm a huge Tar Heel fan. So
Either one of those stadiums would be awesome to go see that
Oh,
game.
without a doubt,
But the
yeah.
Army Navy game has something different, and it's just
It's a
you don't sit
whole
down.
New level.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
just
like a bucket-
constant,
it's like a bucket list thing.
yeah, exactly. I think that would be the first game that I would want to go to.
Yeah, I had some friends that went. I think they went in '93. As soon as we got back, we'd only been back in country a couple months, and they took 8, Rangers to the Army Navy game to give them a little halftime speech and whatnot. And they said that stadium is just electric.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
watching on TV, just the opening ceremony. It's probably like a 15-minute ceremony. You're just like, uh-oh, this
Yeah.
is crazy. You get chills. I'm just getting chills talking about it. The flyovers,
Yeah.
each band. Just the band presence for both those schools is just phenomenal.
Well, when you think about just being a regular student athlete in any sport in college is just mind-numbingly. That's just a lot of commitment, dedication. Now, when you're talking about one of the academies
Yep.
and then filling your, military requirements on top of being an athlete, on top of your academics, I can't even fathom trying to fit all that in a 24-hour period. That's just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, their regimens that they have to go through daily, and their schedules are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that they eased up on the requirements. This had to come from the government to where now that these athletes that can go to these schools, and if they're if they excel at their athletic stuff, that they don't have to go serve. Right, they can actually go pro, which that was never the case before a year ago.
Because that happened with
And-
David Robinson. He wanted to.
Yeah, he had to go serve first.
He had to go surf first and then come
in
back.
the Navy, right?
Yeah, well, he actually
Yeah, it was-
really filed because he was supposed to be in the submarine commander, but he was too big to fit in the sub. And he's like, well, what's
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
That is a good story.
Yeah. And it was just like, well, if I can't fit in the sub, why do I need to go serve? So that they found him something else to do, and then he came back and, had
Yeah,
his
but you
NBA
have to go
career.
serve a certain amount of time
I
before
think
you
it's
can
2-year
do-
commitment.
2 years.
Yeah, it was. It might have changed since then, but,
Well, no, like I said, they lifted it. Now you can go, and that allows athletes, say you want to attend West Point, say you want to go do that, and you want to, help your country out or whatever, but you still want to be an athlete. And if you become, and you an incredible athlete, and the Houston Texans want to take you, you're allowed to go do that and pursue that career without them holding you to that. Now you're still going to be enlisted later on. You can go serve later if it doesn't work out or anything like that.
Or
but
that, or come back, and when your career's done, go serve in the reserves.
Yeah.
As long as you fulfill that commitment, I've got no problem with that at all. Because a professional career is not long to begin with, and if you're going to delay
Exactly.
it
The
2
average
years,
NFL career is 3 years. But it also allows these students that are coming out of high school to go to these schools with the dream of making it professional.
Yeah.
That want to go to West Point and to the Air Force Academy and all that want to go do this. They don't have the dream. Before, you could not turn pro.
Yeah.
And now they're
Or
like,
you
oh,
had
I
to
can
delay
still
it
go.
2 years.
Yeah, you had to delay it. Now they're like, I can go.
Yeah.
I can go pro straight out of
Which
here.
I think is great for the academies themselves because it's hard enough for them to compete, having to stay within the height, weight requirements of the military. You don't have, 360-pound linemen on the Army team or the Navy team. They're all 260 and below, basically.
Speaking of the college season coming up, Texas Aggies came out today and said that they're lifting their restrictions. School's going to start back up this summer pretty soon, and they're opening up their practice facilities to the college team, like to their athletes and everything. This is starting in the next week or two, which to me is a massive, massive deal. So these because college football is a billion dollar business.
I agree.
So them opening up their facilities paves the way for. I'm not saying people in New York can do it because New York's been hit really hard by this.
I think they're breaking it down regionally and
Sure.
letting it up to each state and the governor. I think Abbott's plan, I thought it was, we got the restaurant plan and they sent out, it was like 13, 14 pages of how we're supposed to operate, with the 25%. And it was thought out and it made sense. It wasn't like a lot of extraneous, just extra steps just for busy work. No, it was every task has its purpose. And I think if A&M says they want to do that and they've done the right precautions, and it seems a little soon to me, but
Speaking of
yeah.
A&M, I heard
And I
some
don't
really
think
good
anybody's gonna
stats.
go out until they get a haircut anyway.
There you go. You gotta go. You gotta go to Valor Barbershop for your
they're
haircut.
they're doing
We're
this
gonna have
in
a
the wrong-
line. We're gonna have a line out the door. I'm going to get my haircut. Look, I just shaved. Look, I'll be dead honest with you. I just took a number 3 and just got in my bathtub and did this. Like I swear to God, like
I'm
2
still
weeks
waiting,
ago,
man.
I did. Like he's
Mine's
laughing at
getting
me. I
way
swear
too
to God.
I was all right until about maybe about 2 weeks ago. Then my phone started blowing up. Hey man, can you? I was like, man,
I'm gonna wait until Valor
Not
opens
yet.
up. I'm going over there to get a haircut.
We're all going to
Can
be
y'all
in
do a
line
good
at Valor.
fade? You do a good
oh
fade?
yeah, man, I've been cutting hair since.
I need a good
Hey,
fade.
Hey,
Valor,
hey,
you get
let's
to have some
do it. Hey,
everybody.
do you have room there to host us? Could we do a show?
Oh,
there?
sure. Show
Yeah,
at
you
Valor.
can.
That would be great.
Oh, we
wouldn't it?
can, man.
I
We
would
got room
love.
back
I would absolutely love to do that.
Oh, yeah,
and
come
I
on in.
tangented off of that just because I get excited.
Now we
but
bring in a couple of
we're-
athletes too.
Yeah, we were talking about A&M
There you go.
and them getting ready back to football, but they put some stats up the other day. The University of Texas put up $219 million is what the team raised in ticket sales, and merchandise and stuff. A&M was second with $214 million in just in 19. And then the third, who do you think it was?
Was it
LSU, no, Alabama.
No, just Texas. They're
just
just
Texas.
going
Oh.
Texas.
TCU?
It was
Or
Tech.
SMU?
It was Tech.
It was Tech.
Tech?
And it was $74 million.
Not even close.
Can you imagine? That's the kind of
I
numbers
tell
that
you what,
football
though.
is bringing
Check this
in.
out. University of Texas, I think it was 214 Class A recruits. There was a bunch of people that came out this year out of the draft. I forgot how many.
Oh, it was
Like
dismal.
it was unbelievable. But out of the 214 Class A recruits over the past 3 years that have either been drafted or are major college players, 0 are from the University of Texas. Their recruiting has, it's gone down. It's just crap now.
Oh, where? Or T-Sips. Boo-hoo.
Well, UT is a powerhouse. Well, they were.
They were, yeah.
Oh, they will
were.
always be.
Um,
As soon as Herman
they
runs
gotta
his
get it
course
back
and we
together.
find a real coach.
They got to get it back.
And I'm
together.
a Cougar.
Yes.
So it's hard for me to.
You're a Cougar,
talk-
Mike?
I am.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to say that about a Cougar coach, but he wasn't really a Cougar coach. He didn't do anything for the team. He walked into a program that had been built by a group of guys that had done the recruiting, and when we talk about
You just
Dana
gotta
and
hope so.
Cliff
That's the only
and,
thing
and,
he did
and some,
With,
he was
Houston Strong
always
or
leaving
what-
us like,
H-Town takeover, and then, oh, wait a minute. UT's open? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
It's
Zero allegiance.
Again? Okay.
It was all a stepping stone for his career, and I'm glad to see him flop. And not that I like, not that
exactly. Yeah.
not that I like to see UT flop because I'm a fan. I've always been a fan. I got two of my aunt and uncles are professors there. And my grandfather played football there, Billy Brown Jones.
Shout out.
But he's garbage. He's gonna end up a
But where did he come from?
JUCO. Where did he come from?
Tech?
Dog shit. I don't know. Regardless of where he came from, I know that he ruined what we had built here in Houston. You know, what Summy and Dana and Cliff had built here in Houston was a conference championship every single season. You know, they recruited, they put
In
the
a
team
shit
together.
conference.
Okay. We're not in the greatest conference. I'm not to boost the conference. Like, that's not where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
But we're winning it every year. You know, like it's still the, you know.
All right.
So, but him to come there and just tear it to pieces. And I've got a friend who works for, I'll leave the company that he works for, but they're the ones that supply all the food. And I hope Tom Herman hears this. Tom, I hope you hear this shit. Because you're a piece of shit.
This motherfucker's going to get us in trouble
So-
every week, dude.
So check this out. My buddy works for the company that supplies all the athletes and the teams their food. Aramark is
Aramark, yeah.
they feed them all.
They do Minute Maid, too.
They would make a plate of everything. So whenever you put out 40 wings or 40 steaks, there's always that bottom of shit. You know, when they come and bring the new fresh ones out there that they leave in there, they would scrape all that and put it into a bucket. Because when he would come in the room, they would put it out there as fast as they could, because they learned very quickly that because of the rules, you know, and stuff that they abide by, he would come through there with his plate and reach into the plates and grab shit off and put it on his plate with his fingers. And as soon as he used his hand to grab the food off the plates, Aramark's rules are take it off.
take it
It's
off.
been contaminated,
yeah.
you know, get rid of it. So they would make these shit plates before he would get there, and they'd be like, oh, Tom's coming in. So they'd pull the good ones off there and throw the leftover scraps and stuff out there. So, Tom, we get that. So, kiss my ass, Tom. That's what I got to say. Kiss my ass, because you've never been on my very high list anyway, and then you jump ship on us, and now you're tearing down another team of mine. So, I hope you end up at a JUCO team. Blend's hiring.
Jesus. Let's get into this rye whiskey. Tell me a little bit about this rye whiskey you guys are what y'all are putting out there. I'm going to try a little bit in here.
Yeah, let's
And-
try some. Let's
and,
get some cups.
Thanks for the bottle, and you know, we'll try. You want to swig some?
And we can take it straight out of the bottle.
I guess
I'm
I
gonna-
may
Yeah.
forget to bring
You wanna
cups up
do,
here.
I got hair on my chest at 40. It took me this long to grow
What's
it.
what's the what is
gonna
this?
go grab some
we're gonna
cups
we're
right
gonna
back.
put up we'll put up the
there it
the
is.
place that they can go donate for you guys.
Katie.
Yeah. So yeah, he's right there off 16 and Ellis. So Valor is off 16. Man, let's go eat lunch or something with Feedy.
Oh, what a great idea.
Go get our hair done.
Oh yeah.
Great
There you
idea.
go.
I'm telling you, down.
Cheers to that, guys. Thank you
Cheers.
so much for
Hey.
coming in here, man.
Cheers.
Thank you for your
Cheers.
We're gonna put
service.
up.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Let's try it. Ooh. That will put hair
Oh,
on the
that's
chest.
smooth. I like that.
It's super
It's-
I like
smooth,
that.
isn't
And
it?
this is the
It's a-
rye.
yeah,
So
it's a-
do y'all just have the rye? Or y'all-
Yeah, we do just have the rye.
Okay.
And it's 100% rye. It's also organic, but as you
Oh,
can tell,
nice.
it's very, very smooth.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
even if you don't like ryes, people are like, oh, I don't even like rye whiskey. And they have this one, they're like, well, wait a minute, I think I like ryes. But it's a very, very smooth, smooth whiskey.
I would.
Yeah, we have it.
I'm-
We have it at the barber shop, and I don't let.
Oh, even
Oh, we
better.
can
that's-
sip on this while getting a haircut.
exactly.
Come in, get you a
Yeah.
cold beer.
That's
get
how
sip
we
on
got
the
into a
whiskey.
liquor store.
Three Rangers whiskey. Three
Yeah.
Rangers whiskey. You can hashtag it. You can look them up on Facebook. They've got all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff that's going on. Mike's the manager over here at Lucky's Pub at 801 St. Emmanuel. Now we know we're getting our haircut from now on.
Exactly.
I know exactly where I'm getting my hair cut. Valor Barbershop, man. I'm so excited.
610
about
and
that,
Ella.
too.
Yeah.
What a
I'm
great
super
cause.
stoked.
I
And you
love
can
giving
actually,
money
if
to
you're in
those
the
guys.
Houston area, you can actually get Three Rangers whiskey at Ace Liquor down in League City.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
at 518 and Bay Area Boulevard.
Gotcha.
He got it 2 cases in on a Friday and was sold out in 4 hours.
Boom.
And so he called on Monday, ordered 8 more cases, and I went by there today, and he's down to about 2. So he's about to reload. I'm sure after this show, he'll probably.
Oh,
be out
we're
again.
really gonna get it out there. So I'm gonna do another little shout, and this is an unpaid advertisement. All of my friends that are watching right now that are in the bar
It's put
business.
up right here.
There we go. It's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. All my guys that are in the bar business, I want you guys to go out and get some of this, promote it. We'll come in. I'll come in and do a spin just like the liquor reps do. I'll come in and do a spin, buy all my friends some. You let me know that you've got this. Comment it on the show. Reach out to me, DM me on any one of my deals. I'll come into your bar, and
I
I've
got
got
an
a ton
idea.
of them.
I got an
AJ,
idea.
Eddie, Jeff, Andy, you guys reach out to me. Zach, Salim, you guys reach out to me. Put this in y'all's bar.
Yep.
I'll come in. I'll do a spin. I'll have a lot of fun. I'll bring these guys with me. We'll have a lot of fun with this. We appreciate it, and it's going to a great cause.
How about every week, either before we get going or at the end, we'll just have a shot of this. It's something
Oh,
like
I love it.
and we'll promote it every week, like or every show. We'll just do a little. We'll pour a glass and we'll give a shout out to the 3 Rangers.
Love it.
Okay.
I love that
Absolutely.
idea,
Deal.
yeah.
Deal.
Caught our
Once
Pat
we get the
Tillman.
bars and restaurants back up to 100%, because we're not in bars and restaurants yet, because we were just as COVID was coming in, I was starting to make phone calls and appointments, trying to get appointments set up, and then everything. Well, we can't even do tastings right now, so
Well, we're gonna help you with that.
Yeah,
We're here to help.
yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, once we get back to 100%, because right now everybody's worried about getting back to normal business.
Sure.
And I'm gonna give them some time, let them get their feet on and get back to 100%. Then I'll go knocking on doors. and
Everybody's
see
worried
who
about
wants
getting a haircut.
Well, I want to, I want to appreciate you guys coming out, man. This means a ton to us, and you guys are more than welcome to come on the show at any point in time. Like
That's
100%.
Yeah, let's
man.
come on
Once
whenever
we
you're
get-
ready to come down.
Yeah.
Shoot a show out of the barbershop.
Oh, that would be great. I'm
It's,
excited.
it's a
about
great
that.
location.
cool,
You guys,
man.
I think,
Johnny,
have a
we
good
can
time
go
over
mobile.
there.
We can do it over at the barbershop. I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll get it done. Well, maybe we'll do a show over there. May 16th, May 18th, that we said?
18th.
May
Yeah, the
18th.
18th.
Man, listen,
I
the
think that's a
barbershop's open up.
Saturday.
We're going to go. And also, we're going to support Mike over here at Lucky's, with what they're doing. And obviously, 3 Rangers, man. Thank you guys again for every single thing
Thank
that
you
you
guys
guys
for
have
having us
done,
and let
man.
us tell the
appreciate
story.
it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thanks for
It's
having us.
amazing.
Great
Want to
stories,
thank
love it.
Joe Applewhite, Applewhite Realty. I keep saying if you ain't first, you're last, but he won't get on it. But Applewhite Realty, also Mark Thiessen Law Firm, man. You guys are amazing what y'all do over there. DWIs. Is he the number 1 DWI lawyer in Houston?
He's one of them.
I think
Dude,
he is.
he's up there.
I think
Yeah.
he is.
I think
And
he-
he's a great golfer. He played in my golf tournament this past year, and they won.
They won.
And so I
No,
gave away a
listen,
motorcycle.
they won the little contest where you push the golf cart.
Oh,
Remember?
no,
The
no. So they did not win that. They came in second. But I've still got the prizes for Brian Ching, Bobby Boswell, Juan Castillo, and I apologize. One of the front office guys from the Dynamo was on their team also. I don't remember his name, so I'm sorry. But the team that won the golf cart race, I have y'all's prizes. I've been reaching out to Bobby and Brian Ching trying to get them to come pick them up, but they're too big time to come pick
The
up their
address
prizes.
to answer your question, James, address to Lucky's is 801 St. Emmanuel. It's downtown.
Topo Chico, thank you for your hydration needs. Thank you for sending me
Also,
all the
Booth Pimp Studios.
Booth Pimp Studios.
Appreciate
absolutely.
you. Listen, we're going to do this again Thursday.
Smoke
Actually,
Flower.
Monday. Today's Thursday.
Smokeflower.com. One with Earth, one with the ocean, one with humanity. Another great charitable cause. Go check them out, smokeflower.com.
Love y'all.
Thank
Sports
you
with
so
Balls. See y'all Monday evening. We're out.
out of here.
Thanks, guys.